Electronic components manufacturers, suppliers and distributors. Here is the largest list of top and best manufacturers, suppliers and distributors of electronic components, including capacitor, C, cathode ray tube, center, diode, D, CR, digital signal processor, DSP, field effect transistor, FET, integrated circuit, IC, junction gate field effect transistor, JFET, inductor, L, liquid crystal display, LCD, light-dependent resistor, LDR, light-emitting diode, lead, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, MOSFET, transistor, Q, resistor, R, relay, RLA, RI, switch, SW, transformer, T, thermistor, TH, transistor, TR, integrated circuit, U, IC, variable capacitor, VC, variable resistor, VR, and more. Epson Toyocom. Epson is global leader and worldwide supplier and distributor of semiconductors, high-temperature polysilicon TFDs, small and medium-sized LCDs and crystal devices. Epson is worldwide suppliers and distributors of electronic components including North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia, Oceania, Africa and Middle East. Nippon Industries Co., Limited. NIC. NIC is the worldwide leader, supplier and distributor of aluminium electrolytic capacitors, tantalum film capacitors, ceramic capacitors, resistive components, surface mount component, thick film resistor chips, tantalum and ceramic chips, multi-layer ceramic chip capacitors, chip aluminum electrolytic capacitors, chip resistors, resistor networks, SMT thermistors, inductors, varistors, tantalum chip capacitors, metallized polyester film capacitor chips, leaded miniature electrolytic, tantalum capacitors, ferrite beads and rectifier diodes. RCD electronic components include surface mount products, chip resistors, SIP networks and active, passive delay lines, resistor network in surface mount, SIP-DIP packages, wire wound resistors. Resistance standards, carbon film, and metal oxide resistors, special purpose high-precision resistors, inductive products, delay lines, surface mount components. Surface mount tantalum chip capacitors. RARA Electronics Co. RARA is one of the global leading manufacturers, suppliers and distributors of various resistors including wire wound resistors, power film resistors, RF resistors, current sensing resistors, precision resistors, and high voltage resistors. Megaphase is the global suppliers and distributors of all kinds of cables including trademark series cables, VN series cables, series 1 and 2 cables, series 3 and 5 cables, series 7 cables. Jump shock coaxial jumper cables, 75 ohm sightline test cables, CM series test cable, SF series test cables, sightline field and production test cable, SL series and trademark series bench test cables. Semi-rigid cable assemblies, micro-miniature semi-rigid cable assemblies. Fisher Electronic is a world leader in heat sinks and concepts for semiconductor cooling. Connectors, brackets, optoelectronics exporting their world-class products to over 91 countries. Their electronic components product range include extruded heat sinks, processor cooler, cooling aggregates, welded heat sinks and other cooling solutions. MAC8 Shindenki Co. Limited. MAC8 electronic components include LED spaces, heat-release LED spaces, LED plastic holder for panels, connector for laser diodes, laser diode sockets, pin inserts, threaded spaces, test pin for oscilloscopes. Mouser is leading electronic component parts distributor. Their products include semiconductors, connectors, optoelectronics, capacitors, resistors, inductors, relays, and sensors etc. Farnell. Farnell is one of the world's largest catalog distributors of electronic components and industrial products including capacitors, transistors, resistors, diodes, fuses, integrated circuits, semiconductors and transformers. Battis Components. Battis Components is wholesale distributor and supplier of discontinued and obsolete electronic and electrical components. They are worldwide leaders and suppliers of obsolete electronic components, semiconductors, integrated circuits, military components, connectors, switches etc. Criteria adopted to choose these companies, since there are hundreds and thousands of manufacturers, suppliers and distributors of electronic components. It is not possible to mention each and every one on them here. Companies mentioned here are worldwide leaders of electronic component suppliers and distributors for electronics PCB assembly and rework.